Hi, I'm Henry Crew and this is my review of the LiveWire 1. I recently got the opportunity to spend some time with the brand new LiveWire 1. Excited to get some serious saddle time, I planned a weekend trip from London to Brighton. The main aim being to get a real understanding for this exciting machine, see how it fares in real world use, and get some awesome content along the way. The trip I planned spanned 2 days and included a real variety of riding, which was sure to answer a lot of my questions about day-to-day ownership of an electric motorcycle. On day one, I rode up to London, mainly on the motorway with a short countryside detour, zipped around the city for a few hours and then rode back on the motorway, a trip of about 100 miles. On the second day, I took a countryside route down to Lewes and then on to Brighton, enjoying more scenic and exciting roads, with a tactical stop at lunchtime to fully charge the bike. This only took 1 hour, which is a massive improvement on using the wall charger at home, which takes up to about 11 for a full charge. Day 2 was around 160 miles of riding in total. It can be hard to know where to start when reviewing an electric motorcycle, but I think it's important to firstly focus on the same areas I would cover for a petrol-powered machine, so let's start skin deep and work our way into it. Obviously, styling is incredibly subjective, but I absolutely love how this bike looks. I think LiveWire have struck a perfect balance between traditional and futuristic. I love the aggressive design touches and muscly stance, and that it's recognizable but also recognizably different. The fit and finish is good and it has great presence. So many people stop to chat about the bike and give it compliments over the course of my time with it, and the feedback on social media was overwhelmingly positive, with many people not even realizing it was an electric motorcycle. The LED headlight and indicators seem to be very high quality and are super effective. The only thing I'm not crazy about is the tail light / number plate holder. I think this is probably a result of having to conform to vehicle regulations and will likely be the first thing that most owners change. I really like the seat shape and the material, and it was surprisingly comfortable, which I really wasn't expecting. The hand controls are not the most exciting and feel like a bit of an afterthought taken from another model. Continuing on this, I'm not really a fan of having indicator switches split between left and right hand controls, but I'm sure that's probably due to riding European bikes for many years. The dash is great, really well designed and well made, it's bright and easy to read, and there's not an excessive amount of features to work through, which makes switching modes and settings a breeze. Styling cues aside, swinging a leg over this bike is when you really start to realise it's like nothing you've ever ridden before. The LiveWire 1 will do 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. Your only limiting factor is grip. There's very little variation, you can't miss a gear change, so all you have to do is twist the throttle and you're absolutely flying. The bike makes it feel like light work too, it's super impressive. Every electric bike I've ridden has been quick, but the LiveWire 1 is something else. 100 horsepower and 84 foot-pounds of torque keep this bike exciting and make it more than competitive against petrol-powered equivalents. It doesn't disappoint when it comes to handling either. It took me a little time to adjust, having spent so much time exclusively riding off-road bikes lately, but once I clicked with it, I really enjoyed tearing around country roads, cruising the seafront, and dodging the traffic in the city. The Brembo brakes also work exceptionally well, especially considering the weight of this motorcycle. Not that that's super noticeable when you're riding it. I'm really glad that LiveWire chose to splash out on top quality components like Brembo brakes and Showa suspension. It makes a big difference to the ride, but also proves that they're committed to making a top quality motorcycle. From my experience with electric motorcycles, so much of the budget gets allocated to tech and battery development that important components like suspension, brakes, tyres, wheels and trim are often an afterthought, or even worse, a cost-saving exercise. You also get features such as ABS and traction control, as well as smartphone connectivity, allowing you to access turn-by-turn navigation, music and calls. The riding position is quite stretched out but still comfortable. My legs didn't feel cramped and the seat was comfortable for the duration of the trip. Having cruise control was a big plus when on the motorway, although that kind of riding is the worst for electric vehicles as the battery is being constantly drained. I was really impressed by the range of the LiveWire 1. I get the impression that the 15.4 kilowatt hour battery would be incredibly usable both for day-to-day commuting and weekend blasts, especially once you make some small changes to plan in quick charge stops into your rides. This is only getting easier with the availability of fast charge stations, which will give you the full claimed range of 146 miles for the city, 95 combined and 70 highway in just 1 hour. Charging at home is pretty slow, so I would definitely prioritize fast charging or installing a fast charger at home if possible. I really like that the charging cable fits easily in the storage compartment under the seat. Surprisingly, this hasn't been the case for a lot of bikes that I've ridden. That being said, the LiveWire one doesn't have any under tank storage like some of its competitors. Not that you'd be expecting that coming from a traditional motorcycle. Overall, the LiveWire one is a fantastic looking, fun bike to ride. It holds its own in terms of performance, and I can see myself using it as a daily vehicle or a weekend toy with absolutely no issue. I had endless smiles on my weekend trip despite the freezing conditions, and I think that's a great way to evaluate a motorcycle. If you're not convinced, all I would say is go and try one once they're available in dealerships. There really is no substitute for experiencing it firsthand. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed my review of the LiveWire 1, and I'll see you again soon.